They say blood is thicker than water, but after the age of 70, the people who truly show up for you might not be the ones you share a last name with. They might be neighbors, old friends, or even folks you once thought were passing acquaintances who become the most dependable people in your life. Imagine finding real companionship in someone you met during a late afternoon walk or at a community event. It happens more than you'd think, and it could happen to you. At 73, Walter lived in a small home just outside Columbus, Ohio. His wife had passed 5 years ago. His son worked long hours in Chicago and only visited on holidays. The days got quieter, but it wasn't loneliness that hurt most. It was feeling invisible. One snowy evening, he slipped while checking the mailbox. It wasn't his family who came running. It was his neighbor's teenage son, Tyler. From then on, Tyler started dropping by after school, helping with groceries, setting up his iPad, and sometimes just hanging out watching old westerns. Tyler didn't have to. He wanted to. That small choice made a big difference. Neighbors can become family, especially in later years. They are often the first to notice changes: the unshoveled snow, the unopened mail, the porch light left on. These aren't just people who live next door. They are the ones who step in without being asked because they care. And it starts with small acts: waving from the porch, checking in after a storm, offering a hot meal. Those small actions become the strongest threads in a new kind of family. Now let's talk about community. You may have lived in your town for decades, yet still feel like a stranger. That can change. Linda, a retired nurse in Vermont, joined a local quilting circle, not because she sewed, but because she needed connection. She met Carol, a widowed baker, and James, a Vietnam vet with a gentle laugh and a tough shell. Together, they stitched stories as well as fabric. Birthdays were celebrated again. Hospital visits were made by someone other than nurses. That group became Linda's lifeline. Community doesn't mean hundreds of friends. It means a few people who care deeply. Look around. Your library, your senior center, even the local diner. Connection is waiting, often with a cup of coffee in hand. And don't underestimate technology. Yes, it can be overwhelming at first, but it can also be life-changing. George, 76, was once scared of smartphones, but with help from a tech volunteer at his local library, he learned to video call. Now every Sunday, he chats with his grandkids in Arizona. They play trivia games, share photos, and even watch movies together through streaming apps. His smartwatch tracks his heart rate and reminds him to take medications. His digital assistant reads the news aloud each morning. Technology doesn't replace people. It brings them closer, and it gives independence back in the smallest, most powerful ways. Support can also come from people you hire, but that doesn't mean it can't be heartfelt. Cynthia, an 80-year-old former English teacher in Portland, hired a part-time home aide, Jasmine. At first, it was just about help with cooking and driving, but as the months passed, they started cooking family recipes together, reading poetry aloud, and sharing family stories. They became friends, real friends. Jasmine didn't just clock in and out. She remembered Cynthia's favorite tea and checked in even on her days off. Sometimes the people we pay to help us bring more love than those related by blood, because they show up with kindness, not obligation. And then, the most important pillar, purpose. Without it, even surrounded by people, life can feel empty. Ed, a retired electrician in Michigan, felt useless after retiring, until one day a neighbor asked for help fixing her doorbell. That one favor led to him offering free fix-it help around the neighborhood. Soon his driveway was a weekend gathering spot. He found purpose again, not in big gestures, but in being needed. Whether it's mentoring a local teen, painting birdhouses, or organizing a charity walk, purpose gives your days structure, your mornings meaning, and your nights peace. Together, these 5 supports, neighbors, community groups, technology, professional help, and purpose, can become stronger than family, especially when family is distant, busy, or absent. Support doesn't always come from those who share your DNA. It comes from those who show up, who listen, who care. Eleanor was 82 when she passed. Her kids lived across the country, and though they loved her, they hadn't been around much. But her memorial service was full. Neighbors who brought her groceries, her book club friends, the high schooler she tutored in English, the nurse who braided her hair each week. They shared stories, laughter, and tears. They weren't her family on paper, but in love they were. So if you're wondering who will be there when your knees hurt, your heart aches, or the world feels too quiet, look around. Support may already be near. It might be the man who bags your groceries, the young woman at the pharmacy, or the fellow gardener at the community lot. Smile, ask, offer, receive. These little moments build bonds. Bonds that can last longer and go deeper than some family ties ever could. After 70, life isn't about looking back. It's about choosing forward, choosing your people, your tribe, your reason to wake up tomorrow. Don't wait for someone to come save you. Build your own pillars, strengthen them, and when life gets heavy, you'll be held, not by duty, but by choice. That's support. That's love. That's your new family. And the best part? It's never too late to find them. In conclusion, maybe your strongest support system won't come from your family tree. Maybe it'll come from someone who lives 2 doors down, or someone you just met last month at the library. The truth is, after a certain age, connection looks different. It's not always loud or dramatic. It's someone knocking on your door just to check in. It's someone remembering your favorite coffee order. You don't need a big crowd. You just need a few people who truly care. The ones who notice when you're not yourself. The ones who sit with you without needing to say much. And sometimes they come from the most unexpected places. A teenager helping you with tech. A book club turning into family. A part-time aide who ends up knowing your stories by heart. We often think love has to come from people we've known forever. But some of the deepest bonds are built later in life. Slowly, gently, through kindness and time. Technology, for all its noise, can actually quiet the distance. A simple video call, a message, a shared photo. They pull faraway people close again. They help you feel seen and purpose. That quiet force that makes you feel needed. It still matters. Whether you're fixing something, mentoring someone, or just showing up for others, it gives shape to your days. So if you're wondering who your people are, start small. A smile, a wave, a shared meal. That's how real support begins. Never all at once, but piece by piece. Because in the end, it's not about who shares your blood. It's about who shares your time, your laughter, your worries, your day. And the most beautiful part? It's never too late to find them or to become that person for someone else.